Alright, so I'm up late.
I'm building a scavenger. It's a scrap collecting unit. Very important since we require scrap to produce all other units and buildings.
Building.
But I put that way.
Building complete.
The scavenger is now under your command, Lieutenant. Let's see if you're ready to handle it. Have it follow you to the scrap pool we passed a few hundred meters to the west. Once you're there, I'll instruct you on how to deploy it.
Yes, sir. In transit. Whatever you say. Scavenger here. Got it covered.
They included a tutorial to play this game in the actual campaign. That was the big deal back in this game. Everybody their hand-holding us through these 4 missions for create assets. It's fun. But then again, Battlezone, I remember when I first played that game.
There it is, Cowboy. Scrap is usually concentrated in
transit.
Now all you have to do is point it at the pool and press your spacebar.
Got it covered.
I remember sitting there with the recycler floating there, and I had no idea what to do.
Notice the resource bar in your HUD. The new segment indicates that you have deployed the scavenger successfully. Not bad, Lieutenant. You're a quick learner. Or maybe I'm a good teacher.
So yeah, I remember that feeling, sitting there like, what do I do here? What am I supposed to do? And it's like
we've got more of them again. Hold them off. Don't let them get to the scavenger while I'm building up support.
Actually, strike. It wasn't your typical RTS game like Command and Conquer or Oklahoma.
Building.
So, turret.
Building complete. Deploying.
A turret is on the way, Cowboy. Deploy it near the scavenger for support.
Got your 6.
So
You're the boss.
So having the tutorial in the game, I think it helps you get immersed in the game. And they do have it all, because I mean, I've known how to play this for a long time, and they did change how they deploy.
Turrets will automatically deploy wherever you order them to go.
They changed how they deploy recyclers. Typically, a recycler factory would get deployed on the scrap. The geyser, they called it back in Battlezone 98. And so now they're called scrap pools, and you can deploy the scavengers on the pool. That's taking care of this thing. One of the things...
General Braddock, we're experiencing heavy casualties. The back door is open, General. Please advise, sir.
Carry on to the corral, Major. I'll have to improvise. Orange Squad, rendezvous with your recycler now.
I like the general, his voice, the acting is perfect. So they changed it, and now you deploy a recycler, you're much more free to deploy your base wherever you see fit. You're not restricted to geysers. And then, it's a matter of controlling the scrap pools. And then the scavengers don't just collect the scrap and they get deployed. They do collect scrap now. Like created
Building.
But they collect scrap.
Building complete.
For a purpose. So that is really part of an extension of the base. They feed. That's how you get the majority of your of your resources is coming from scrap pool deployments. They're called extractors. It's a scavenger. It's called an extractor. So it seems to be stuck at 39. That's fun. But the graphical upgrades here, the skybox, which is what we call, and anything above the horizon is called the skybox. They really made that beautiful. And then the increase in graphical content on the fighters, and the detail of the scavengers, and so on. There's a lot of, I call it shininess. It's very shiny. Has a lot of gloss to it. The lighting. So this should trigger the next part of the story.
Commander Shabayev, leave the lieutenant and rendezvous with Blue Squad in Sector 12.
This area is not secured, sir, according to regulations.
I am aware of that, Commander. You heard my orders.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, I'm placing that recycler into a production loop. It will continue to build turrets as funds come. Keep a defensive perimeter around it and that scavenger in the field. Don't allow anything to happen to them, and stand by for further orders.
Building. Building complete.
You're the boss. Deploying.
It's got all the markings of the tag and stuff. Nothing about science. All you gotta do is shoot. Yes. They stop. Or they'll morph into their second. There's two modes. There's the low power mode and the high mode. You don't have that with the ISPF units. It's got National Space Defense Force was the Battlezone, and then the International Space Defense Force, which, the Russian
Building.
Americans who can now fight on the sides. So, science.
Building complete.
You're the boss.
But science basically were a super soldier experiment gone wrong. And they bombed it.
Deploying.
Wound up creating a whole race of these super soldiers that eventually rebelled against the command. And now he's trying to cover it up. And he's barking out orders, telling me that, do this, do that. The real story behind the story is that this scion leader was Braddock person. He was the victim of Braddock's research into super soldiering, and they basically changed the DNA of these soldiers and turned them into science. So there's a battle, obviously, between
Building.
the super soldiers. Let's take one of these turrets.
Rattler here.
And we'll get another turret.
Rattler here.
Building complete.
You're the boss.
Put one right about here.
You're the boss.
So he's covering the backside as well.
Base under attack.
Deploying.
Base under attack.
Oh. Thought I left those other turrets.
Base Base under attack.
I have these guys.
Rattler here. Deploying. You're the boss.
Couple empty scouts sitting there. We should take care of that.
Building.
Deploying.
So yeah, I mean it's pretty easy.
Building complete.
You're the boss.
And his friends thank him here this challenge. I just enjoy the nostalgia.
Deploying.
You're coming from a different direction now. And they're upgraded, so they're not worried. Yeah, the Warrior is the equivalent of the tank, the upper tank. But the guy is the Warrior is the sign of the tank. Those scouts that they have, scout here. And then they have to set up their missile scout. That's equivalent to missile scout here. So they were able to.
Shepherds are in place, sir.
All right, Lieutenant. Move to the armory. There's a special power-up there. You better pick it up, because you're going to need it for this mission.
3 supplies repair. I can actually take a supply like 2. I just dropped 2 repairs and it'll come. We'll get launched from the armory. That's I still don't have anything upgraded. Like the minigun, I don't have a chain. There's no MPN. There's the. Yeah, there's no MPN or MPN. See how that tower just came in? And that should be repaired.
Rattler here.
There's the armor, which is green bar, and the blue is the ammo. So, for the armor to get it back to green, refill ammo for these. Now, there's the second part of this picture.
Lieutenant Cook, you're going to have to get out of your ship to get that power-up.
Teach you how to get out of the ship.
You've just picked up a modified sniper rifle. I'll explain why later. I placed a nav beacon at a communication bunker several hundred meters northwest of your current location. Move to that bunker now, Lieutenant, and quickly.
I have my sniper rifle. So this is teaching you how to snipe. This is here. But it's part of the story, so there's like a program called Sniper Tutorial Mission. Sniper Tutorial. So they teach you the very basics of things. Included as part of this.
The flock is on the move, General.
Now what I do.
Get inside that bunker now, Lieutenant. Move!
Move! Soldier!
All right, Lieutenant. You've just become the key part of this little operation. The sniper rifle you picked up has been modified to fire a tracer round. It plants a bug, not a bullet. Green and blue squads have cut off the enemy's lines of retreat and are forcing them through your location any second now. When the enemy moves through, fire a single tracer into one of their craft. Fire it into their canopy to disable the occupant of the craft. Get ready, Lieutenant. You only have a small window of opportunity. Make your shot, Khan.
God, I like his voice. His accent is just such a, yeah, it's like a jerk, man, I swear. Let's see. I mean, I don't know how far these go back. That's 2018, 2019. Look at that shit. And then I played it in 2020. September of 2020. What a 1 year that the world changed. Crazy. 22, 23. It's funny, my dad died in 2017, and it doesn't seem that long ago. But it is, you know. It's 8 years. He died on March 14th. It's weird how much you think about that stuff. I almost don't like to get rid of these save games because, you know, you just go back and you think. Sniper. Okay. Tab. Nowadays, the games have to be safe. Got killed. It's back in the game. Let's see.
They're approaching the target area.
Base under attack.
It's funny, we never got to play in space. Did we? I don't think we did. I think there were mods. I remember there were mods that got you pretty high up in the atmosphere. But I don't think we ever got to play in space with. We had some ships that would fly pretty high. I remember it being in those. Kind of reminds me of the...
All right, Lieutenant. You've just become the key part of this little operation. The sniper rifle you picked up has been modified to fire a tracer round. It plants a bug, not a bullet. Green and blue squads have cut off the enemy's lines of retreat and are forcing them through your location any second now. When the enemy moves through, fire a single tracer into one of their craft. Fire it into their canopy to disable the occupant of the craft. Get ready, Lieutenant. You only have a small window of opportunity. Make your shot, and...
They're approaching the target area.
Nice shot, son. Get to your ship before they take out that bunker. Target has been hit. All forces move in.
Base under attack.
They're moving, General, just as you planned.
There they go.
Excellent. Stay with them, Cook. But be sure not to hit that tagged ship.
I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt. Yeah, box. Underneath the box. Shadows, the light. I mean, I played this barely
reached their retreat vessel, General. You should be picking up the tracer on radar now.
I've got it, Major. Get your units to the dust-off site. We're going after them.
End the mission. The Scions had retreated off planet Pluto, and using the tracing device planted on one of their ships were tracked to a previously unknown planet within our solar system. This is the whole idea about Planet X, where I guess the lore goes that the Anunnaki inhabit Planet X. And it's a planet that you can't see, using normal telescopes. You have to have an infrared telescope to see Planet X. This is before 2012. So the theory being Planet X is on a long rotation elliptical orbit, and it comes back into view into the solar system and causes havoc on Earth. That's the whole Mayan thing. That was bullshit, as it turned out. But the lore was there, and that's the thing. And then, the Anunnaki are the progenitors of the human race. That's what Battlezone was more about, was the Anunnaki. They call them, well, they were the progenitors, or I forgot the name of it right now, but the name of the race, they call them. But anyway, that's sort of the lore back then. Of course, I didn't really put two and two together. I didn't really know about the Mayan thing till the 2000s. So this was, it was interesting how they used that lore in the, I'll call it, I don't even want to call it pirate radio, but like, some of the pirate radio programs you've heard of probably. I can't think of their names right now, but there's a lot of lore there. And people, they make a living off of this stuff. That's the thing. So anyway, investigation of the status of Pluto in the Scion's wake revealed that the aliens had not made much of a foothold on that planet. No central Scion base was found, indicating that the Scion soldiers were housed elsewhere. Their presence on Pluto presumably was solely for temporary battle. The Scions also did not seem to be thriving on Pluto, as several dead bodies of Scion creatures were found. Autopsy, as best it could be performed in the field on a non-human creature, revealed that these Scions must have died from illness, and that no injuries or signs of attack were found on their bodies. So that's the super soldier thing, where they were trying to convert these humans into super soldiers. And they're unable to survive like normal ISDF soldiers. So the last 25 years have been incredible to actually live through it. It's amazing. That whole Mayan crap was a bunch of horse hockey. Boy, and Greg Braden, that guy, he made some money off of that. Boy, did he make money off of it. These people that do these seminars. And he had a whole look about him too, the long hair, big, long. He looked like women would envy this guy's hair. I mean, it was so full and flowing and long, and he had this aura about him that, it lent it perfectly to all the woo-woo people out there that, energy and, out-of-body experiences, all that crap.
I'm relieved to hear that Lieutenant Cook survived, General. But you can understand my reticence to abandon a man on a base like that. Blue Squad was not in need of my assistance, and the sector between the base and their location was crawling with scions. I defer to your judgment, sir, but I will be filing a report as is standard.
I used to be able to spin this planet, like make it spin really fast on previous versions of the game. They took that away, obviously.
Manson, this is Braddock. We're coming in on the Dark Planet now, so I'm going to need you to take care of that operation we discussed. It's just too hot with all these intelligence officers running around. I don't like the paper trail this whole mission is generating, so let's get that quarry out of here before some kid in recon can file a report on it. Second Fleet, this is your General speaking. We are proceeding to the Dark Planet and will be landing shortly. Major Manson will lead the landing party. First priority is to set up a base of operations and we'll take it from there. Over and out.
And out.
I'd never even known this place existed before. And here I was on a ship heading down to land on it. It doesn't look like the Earth does from space. The big blue marble you always see in pictures. This one's almost black. You can barely tell where space ends and the planet begins. Even the satellites have a hard time picking it up. As if it's not really there.
Planet X. You need an infrared satellite to see it. Or, I'm sorry, infrared telescope. Satellite, telescope.
You're a few hundred meters off target, Commander, but go ahead and set up there. There's no enemy contact yet, but this atmosphere is wreaking havoc on our instruments. Send out shallow patrols to secure the area. Once a perimeter's been established, we'll start collecting resources.
See, this never had clouds. This planet was always just like more like it's a planet Star Wars. It's built out of, it's all machine. But, you have
Cook,
basically...
defend the perimeter while I set up this base.
Building. Building complete. Locking in course. Building. Building complete.
Yes, sir. In transit. Got it covered.
Building. Building complete.
Yes, sir.
Turrets.
Scavenger here.
It's over here.
Scavenger here. Lead the way.
Oh,
I'm following. Got it covered.
there's a sign.
Base under attack.
Building.
Oh, the soldiers.
Building complete.
You're the boss. Scavenger here. Deploying.
Building. Building complete. Building.
Scavenger here. Building complete.
Got it covered.
Rattler here.
Base
Got your
under
six.
attack.
See this?
Base under attack.
Rattler here. You're the boss. In transit. You're the boss. Deploying.
Oh, there's okay, we got defenses there. Shopping.
Building.
Actually have a keyboard that lights up.
Building complete. Building.
Service points is fine. Now we got
Base
There's a scrap
under
pool. I'll
attack.
make it with a nav beacon. Build a scavenger cook and send it to that scrap pool to start collecting. Good work, Lieutenant. Be sure to stay with the scavenger as it deploys to protect it.
Building complete. Building.
Scavenger here.
Oh, we have the other one. Let's Dark Planet. Let's do this. Dark Planet. Save.
Building complete.
Engaging thrusters.
Tell you, man, it's crazy. Work.
Standing by. On your 6.
You're just gonna stay there. Shoot you.
Building. Building complete.
Engaging thrusters. Thrusters engaged. On your 6. Standing by. On your 6.
Alright.
Scavenger here. Lead the way.
I'll start building some turrets.
Building. Building complete. You're the boss.
There's a sentry.
Deploying.
Turret. Man, I wish I had an upgrade on my orders.
Building. Building complete. You're the boss.
Can't even run.
Rattler here.
On your 6. Yeah, I'm on it. I've got company. Yeah, I'm on it.
Let's just send these ones.
That area may be hot. We're picking something up, but I can't get a fix on it. Pick up your visual.
Deploying. Scratch 1. Rattler here. I've got company. Engaging clusters.
Offensive unit lost. Offensive unit lost.
Well,
Rattler here. Rattler here. You're the boss.
what you boys will do.
Cook, I'm building a factory. You'll be able to use it to make mortar bikes.
Well, thank you. Use that before.
Rattler here. Rattler here. I'm following. Got it
To
covered.
go with the biometal, I've got to deal with you and you. Tell them.
In transit. Got it
Go
covered.
get scrap. Crossing fire.
Building.
Deploying.
Building complete. I'm on my way. Building. Jackal here. Fun.
Deploying.
Building complete. I'm on my way.
Scavenger here. Got it covered.
Jackal here. Fun.
Jackals.
Dust.
You're showing a lot of promise, Lieutenant.
Alright, so.
Rattler here. Rattler here.
Cook, I have a special assignment I need you to carry out. Break off from the rest of the forces and follow me.
You're the boss.
I'm gonna hold on a second there. Go back and get the town.
Base under attack.
In transit.
Jackal here. Jackal here. Jackal here.
Base under attack.
Deploying.
Sure, no problem.
Deploying.
Alright, those guys are okay. I'm gonna build up.
Building.
Thanks. Go back and get my tank.
Building complete. I'm on my way.
Alright, now. It's
Building. Building complete. Building.
so it's 2,
Deploying.
Building.
6.
Jackal here. Building complete. I'm on my way. Heading to nav.
Rattler here. Rattler here.
Building complete.
Rattler here.
Got everything organized. Turrets. I know what's coming, so I know it's now we got that. Let's see. Let's see.
Building.
So yeah,
I'm on my way.
The next part is pretty good. Get these motorbikes together. Better lumps of skin.
Jackal here.
Anyway. Yeah, this was a pretty amazing game. I built a PC to play this game. And what I have, an F1 500 megahertz. I have it like TNT or maybe a TNT2. Marmot gigs. Voodoo 2s. I had 3 PCs. The F1 500, and I had 2 other ones that I built. It was an AMD K6 2. 400 and 450. I only did AMD computers, AMD processors. I didn't do Intel. I didn't do Intel until I started doing finance. But anyway, I'll continue this on a different part. This is where we're at right now.